Marvel is already crazy with the content that they're giving of us. Like, just think about this year alone, 2021. Altogether, we'll have 6 different MCU Disney Plus series and 4 MCU movies by the end of the year. That is just insane how much content we're getting there. But they're just getting started. Like, things are about to get even crazier because Phase 5 is going to get insane because Malcolm Spellman, who of course was the executive producer and head writer for The Falcon Winter Soldier, he recently revealed in an interview that he's surprised about how little we know about the future of the MCU and how few MCU projects have been announced. Which, first of all, I think is kind of funny because just a couple days before that, in an interview, he was asked about something like that, and he was like, I have no clue what Kevin Feige's planning up in there. And then a couple days later, he's like, you'd be surprised because I know everything, you know. So, but what could this be? What are these surprise MCU projects that are in development that Marvel Studios is creating, but we just not have had official confirmation or announcements about yet? So, that's what this video is all about today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be breaking down some of the top ideas of what these secret projects could be. What projects are in development at Marvel Studios? So, let's start off with something obvious, with the Thunderbolts. This is something that was kind of set up in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a little bit with Zemo being in the raft, but we know we're getting even more with Black Widow because there was supposedly originally a post-credit scene for The Falcon and Winter Soldier, but now it's been moved to Black Widow because it ties to characters and plot points in that movie. So we know the Thunderbolts are being set up in the MCU, and really I'm so excited for this because I love the villains, and to see all these villains come back and see them all on one team, to see Baron Zemo, see possibly U.S. Agent, see Yelena Belova, see maybe Taskmaster, see maybe Ghost, maybe Abomination. There's so many possibilities here of who could be on this team, but I just think it's such a cool idea, and we know it's happening in the MCU. But they haven't officially announced a Thunderbolts project, and I am interested to find out whether they would want to do a Thunderbolts movie or a Thunderbolts series. And also, Dark Avengers, that's a very similar thing, / Masters of Evil. Is that going to be a separate project, or are they just going to kind of blend the 3 teams together? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But another obvious one is the Young Avengers. Basically, every Disney Plus series where we've gotten so far and that we're getting in the future is setting up some sort of Young Avengers member. We got Wiccan and Speed with WandaVision. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier gave us Eli Bradley, aka Patriot. We know we're getting America Chavez in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye Disney Plus series. Ms. Marvel in the Ms. Marvel Disney Plus series. And then other things like possibly Kid Loki and Loki. Who knows on that? But yeah, guys, the Young Avengers are coming, and still, just like with the Thunderbolts, we haven't had official confirmation of that, but I am also interested to find out, would they do a Young Avengers series or a Young Avengers movie? But now let's get into some of the stuff that's not so obvious, well, is obvious, but there's been, like, no rumors or no previous setup in the MCU so far, like the X-Men. We know the X-Men are coming to the MCU, but I mean, other than X-Men movies, what are we going to get with these mutant characters? Well, I think probably the most obvious one is a Wolverine movie, or maybe even series. There was rumors of the anthology series, so there's that. I'm not sure what other mutants would get their own projects. Possibility for, like, anybody. Let me know in the comments below. What mutants would you like to see get their own projects? But we also have the Fantastic Four, who, of course, are getting their own movie, probably their own franchise trilogy. But I think Doctor Doom would make for a great movie or series. Also, the Silver Surfer. I would love that as well. Then, another team that has been kind of not really hinted at, but would make sense in the MCU is the Midnight Suns, because we know we're getting the Blade movie. Doctor Strange is getting more horror-y, supernatural in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, so why not create the Midnight Suns, which is basically the Avengers, but for all these supernatural heroes. So it would be a team of probably like Doctor Strange, Blade, maybe introduce Ghost Rider, maybe even give him his own movie or Disney Plus series, bring in Moon Knight, maybe Punisher. You can get all these different supernatural ME characters in this team. And it would just be so awesome. I would love to see something like that. Another one is the Illuminati, which, according to reports, is something that is officially in development at Marvel Studios, but then again, we don't know. And obviously the lineup won't be exactly like it is in the comics because Iron Man is dead. But with the Fantastic Four being introduced, you can have Mr. Fantastic. With X-Men, you got Professor X, probably Doctor Strange in there. Black Panther, maybe if whoever takes on the mantle of Black Panther, maybe Black Bolt if they do Inhumans. Speaking of that, Inhumans. Who knows what they're going to do with that if they make Kamala Khan an actual Inhuman, but I want to see some Inhumans in the MCU, so I would love to see that. Namor, who may or may not be introduced in Black Panther 2, he would tie into that as well. He could even get his own movie or series. And then probably another big one is the Avengers. We know the Avengers are coming back, but in a different way. So this would be probably the new Avengers, where we'll have new members like the new Sam Wilson Captain America, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Thor. All these characters will be now front and center on this new team. But maybe we'll even have some Avengers spin-offs like the West Coast Avengers with characters like War Machine and Ant-Man and White Vision going over to that team. That's also a possibility as well. And then there's also the possibility for not specifically team projects like I've mostly been talking about here, but also just solo projects for characters like maybe Scarlet Witch. Maybe Scarlet Witch will get her own movie or series. I actually just made a video about that the other day. Maybe characters like Captain Britain or Nova or Sentry, maybe even Adam Warlock because he's supposedly appearing in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We also have all of the Defenders characters, and who knows what's going to end up happening to them. Hopefully they do come back to the MCU, whether that's with the same actors or not, but maybe we could get a full-on Defenders movie, or a Daredevil movie, or a Heroes for Hire series, get some more John Bernthal Punisher up in here. Who knows, guys, but there are just so many possibilities here, and like I said, we thought it was crazy when we had the whole Phase 4 slate announced, but like I said, they're just getting started. That was just the warm-up. We're really getting into things with Phase 5. So guys, let me know down in the comments below, what do you think these secret MCU projects will be in the future of the MCU?